Hello. Hopefully, you can hear me okay. Had a little bit of technical difficulties getting the microphone to work, and I have a new headset and it's causing me all sorts of problems. So hopefully this is working. Hope everyone is having a good day. I am ready to draw. I haven't drawn anything, especially haven't streamed any drawing in a while. So I think this will be exciting and fun. Hi, it's Fort. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're having a good day. Are you on summer break right now? I know a lot of people are on summer break. Just gonna start doodling out some ideas for how I want this to look. Sorry, E-Rock. Hopefully it's not too loud. Like I said, I was having some difficulties with my setup. Oh no, more school. Well, that's okay. School's not so bad. Gives you a reason to get out of the house, see people. Learning is fun. Hello, Zeus. Yay, art. Art is correct. Decide how I want her second arm to be. Might have her holding something else. Ooh, it's online. Okay, that's less fun. I don't think online school is nearly as fun, but that's okay. You'll be done with it before you know it. No, this is a fire genasi, actually. Hi, army guy. How are you doing? How have you been? Let me know if you guys can hear any weird background noise. I'm hearing it on my mic monitor, but I don't think it's coming through to you all, but just let me know. busy summer. Well, hopefully you have some free time over the summer. It's always nice during the summer to just have a couple days to relax, especially when it's really hot. Although I don't know if it gets hot near you. I can't remember where anyone is from. I'm sorry. Also, honestly, what with like climate change, it's hard to remember what areas get cold and hot nowadays. Like, I was learning a lot of areas that used to get really cold in the winter don't really get as cold as you would think. Anymore. Which is weird to think about. I can't get her leg to not look really stupid. That's what I'm struggling with. I've got some pose references pulled up, but I'm trying to figure it out. May gray, like just overcast? That's right, you're in Canada. Yeah, it probably still gets hot there though. I knew it was north, but I couldn't remember how far north. It's been pretty nice here. We've had a couple sunny days in Southern California. We're close to like LA. It's pretty good. It's been really wet for us, but that is definitely not the norm, and I don't know that it'll happen again next year or anything. It's like a really specific case of weird California weather. We'll probably go back into a drought right after this. It's not bad. Where you are, Army Guy, that's good to hear. I think there's something so nice about being somewhere a little cooler during the summer, because like where I'm from, Kentucky, it's really humid in the summer, like really humid. So the second you step outside, you just feel like you're soaking wet, and it's awful. Sorry, I'm distracted by my dog. She's sleeping and it is so cute. If I could easily turn the camera to face her, I would for you all, but A, it's not on and working, and B, I don't even know how I'd get it to turn around and face where she is, but she's so cute. I like rain. Do you guys like rain? I kind of like when it rains, as long as I don't have to go out and do a lot of stuff in the rain. Like if I have to run a single errand, that's fine. Go to work, that's fine. But if I have to do more than that, I don't like the rain. I don't love driving in it if it's really heavy. But otherwise, I really like rain. I just think it makes the whole world feel really refreshed, and it smells nice, and the sound is so lovely. I listen to a lot of rain sounds when I'm like trying to sleep if I'm having trouble. Oh yeah, I can see that, Army Guy. That you pretty much can't be on your motorcycle when it rains, right? You have to just kind of go under an underpass or something and wait for it, because it's really dangerous, right? That's my understanding, but I don't know anything about motorcycles. I've ridden on one once in my entire life, so I know Max knows a lot more about.
Riding in the rain hurts if you don't have a nice jacket on.
He just said that riding in the rain hurts if you don't have a really good jacket on, which makes sense. I didn't even think about that. And you have to be really careful. Yeah. I'm gonna fix this kind of leg a little bit. I think she should have a slightly wider stance. I'm just going to use my Photoshop tools to kind of help me eyeball it. Let's see, and then we can do a quick little compare. I like to just do this sometime when you're not sure. Just play around with it. See what looks better. Yeah, that's definitely looking better. In the milk bag land. Oh my gosh, I love that. Is that Ontario? Is milk band land? I thought that was all of Canada. I just thought all of Canada was bagged milk, Canadian bacon, Tim Hortons on every corner, maple syrup, and flannel. No? Yeah, and poutine. I love poutine. Only parts of Canada still use bag milk. I'm all for it, but I actually think cartons are probably better for the environment than a bag, right? I don't know. I'm all for whatever food packaging is the most environmentally friendly. Which is unfortunately not most of it. But you know. All right, so we are drawing. Oh, I just realized I made her arm like crazy long. So let's fix that. Her shoulder should be up a bit. This should be up a bit. It's a little bit better. Once we do the next step, we'll look. And then I need to fix her muscles a little bit because we want her to look off. And then I think I made her top a little bigger than her bottom. So we're just gonna give all of it a tiny bit more, just a tiny bit more. I want her to look pretty statuesque. So I was originally gonna let you guys vote on who I drew today. We're just working on some, I decided to do, I'm gonna do something low stress but still related to the campaign because I'm just like really excited for the campaign. And so we are drawing some NPCs today, or at least drawing one of them, and I was gonna let you all vote, and then I just couldn't stop thinking about drawing this one, so I thought, no vote, I'm just gonna do it. So yeah. No, she was the other option, Zeus. And we might draw her next week, but this is our other friend, Priestess Saria. Write her name here. And I am kind of obsessed with her. Ever since we met her, I was like, oh, hey girl. So I just like have been really wanting to draw her. So she is a priestess of crap. Where are my notes? I'm waiting for Max to like yell at me from the other room. But she's a badass, tough, strong forge worker, and I really wanted to draw. I've been really into Mandalorian, and my favorite character is the armorer, so I wanted to draw her and give her kind of like those sort of vibes, you know. So she is a the priestess of crap. She is a fire genasi. I want to say light forge. Yeah. It's the god, the light smith. We were so close. So close. Okay. The Holy Land of Crap. The Peddler's Mall? Is that? That's where I make my pilgrimage to the Holy Land of Crap. Anyways, I feel the need to draw some strong buff ladies today. Cause you know what? I want to be a strong buff lady. I need to start weightlifting. I had to stop working out and exercising. I was doing really good. I was going for like almost a 3-mile walk or run some days. And then most days I was going out every day, but most days I was making it that far. And then I was going to start lifting weights, and then I had to have my surgery. So that kind of ruined that. But after that, I want to start working again once I'm fully recovered. And then I'm going to be buff like this armorer lady. Yeah. Ooh, you just got an air fryer. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. Air fryer equals lightsmith. There's not a lot of light going on. It's just air. They're more like a air genasi situation. I love. Oh, you got dual basket. I am so jealous now. At first I was happy for you. Now I'm jealous. I'm going through all the range of emotions, army guy. I love ours. We have the smaller ninja, I think, and it works great. My favorite thing that I make with it was actually a recipe that came with it. And I highly recommend it. Is if you like mushrooms, making stuffed mushrooms in the air fryer is so good, so easy, so fast. It's just like one of my favorite go-to recipes. The other thing that I've been discovering the air fryer is really good at is making vegetarian meat substitutes from frozen. So I've been trying to stop eating meat. It's not been easy, but I found that if I buy the fake chicken cutlets, it's like Corn is the brand, Quorn. I can just toss the little nuggies. Oh yeah, it's for, so you know what it's like. You just throw the little nuggies in the air fryer and toss them around for a few minutes, and they taste so good. Hi Chinner, how are you doing? I was just thinking about you earlier today, actually. But yeah, you just throw your fake meats in there. You can do vegetables, Brussels sprouts, green beans are really good. You can do asparagus. One of my favorites is to buy a Japanese pumpkin, a kabocha squash, slice that up and throw those in there and just toss them around in a little oil. Oh my gosh, so good. Thanks, Chinner. I'm feeling much better. Army Guy, if you need recipe ideas, feel free to ask in either our Discord or the GGN Discord. I think both of those have food channels, and I'm sure people would love to give some recipe advice since you're new to it. It's just one of my favorite kitchen appliances. I don't like having too many appliances in my kitchen because it just can take up like a lot of space, but air fryer is like a must-have in my opinion. It's just so good, and it's nice because also if you don't have to stop. I still use my oven, but it's nice because I can have one thing going in the air fryer while I'm working on one thing on the stove and one thing in the oven. It makes just like multitasking really good too if you're cooking like a big meal. I love it. I'm always looking for more recipes myself as well. But again, I don't eat meat, and I know that's what most people use their air fryer for, and I'm trying really hard. I'm still doing a little bit of chicken broth, and I'm not avoiding things that have a teeny bit of meat in them too much, but I'm trying to avoid like going out of my way for meat. I'm not ordering it. I'm not buying it. Yeah. Oh, you toast bread in it. Interesting. I haven't tried that yet. I will try that because honestly, if I could get rid of my toaster, I hate my toaster and I want to get rid of it. You're not inviting me to Bacon Fest 2023? No. There is vegetarian bacon that tastes okay made from like seaweed or something, but I don't know where to get it. Yeah, that's really smart, Army Guy, and it's so good for veggies. It's so good. I love it. You can also make roasted nuts in your air fryer. There's some really good recipes online for roasted nuts. Super delicious. A little cinnamon, sugar or fake sugar, your choice, and some egg whites. Like mix that all up with a whisk so it's nice and fluffy. Put your nuts in that, shake them around, throw them in the air fryer, shake it around. You just gotta be careful because they'll burn easily, but I don't mind things tasting a little burnt, so. Just bring a bacon dish. One of my favorite recipes is one pot fondue mac and cheese, which is basically where you cook the noodles in the like cream in the chicken broth, and then you throw in the cheese at the end and you cook it all in one thing, and it calls for bacon, but I've started making it with mushrooms that I like roast up and get crispy and then put them back in at the end, and that works really well. So maybe I'll just bring that and people can pretend. I love a good air fryer. And yeah, oh, I got ahead of myself. Chinner, I was just thinking how we need to hang out and play board games sometime soon. And then I was thinking about what we're gonna play for community night on GGN soon. And then I was thinking how we need to play board games. And I was thinking we have a board game we're gonna buy soon called Formula D, which is like a car racing board game. So yeah, if you want to play, the biggest problem is just the stupid dogs. I don't really know what to do about it, but I figure we could at least try. And if they're too annoying, then oh well, at least we tried. Yeah, Formula D is fantastic. Community night game? Yeah, I'm free tomorrow night. I can do whatever. I will join for any shenanigans. Pretty much any game works for me. I feel like I ended up tilting her foot up weird. And we don't have village tonight. She's hanging out with her mama, so we're gonna pretend she's here in spirit, and I'm gonna rotate this sucker. I didn't even need her to remind me. I'm also gonna save. Thanks, village. Just if you see her later, just say thanks, village. You don't have to tell her why. Okay, her legs are definitely still like off, so let's just fix that. Okay, that feels better. What do you guys think? Looking better to me. Yeah, it's a really fun board game. It's not super cheap, but we really like it. But Max is really into actual like racing, so he was like, we should play that again. I was like, yeah, we need to get it. What board game did you get? It's for I like most board games. So we need to make, one of the things we need to do for this that I might take a break from drawing her so I can kind of like think on it, is we need to draw like a sigil for the lightsmith. So let's just like do that real quick. So I think we could just like sketch a few ideas. I was thinking we have a couple ideas we could do, like obviously like a hammer is good. And then we could do like forge, right? Or like like an anvil. Actually, I don't know what an anvil looks like. Hold on. I'm like drawing a blank. I was just drawing one for work the other day too, and I already forgot. That's right. They have like this connected part, and then this part is usually more like connected onto this. Like a combination of these, and then we could do like flame and fire to represent like light. Some combination of those. Here to Slay. It has really cute art. I'll have to check that out. Our Lady's Tears. Hello. Hello, Raiders. Welcome. Welcome to the channel. How are y'all doing? Hi. Hello. Were you just streaming? How is it going? What were you streaming? We are, if you're new here, we are drawing some D&D character art. Ooh, D&D session. How did it go? Did you roll lots of 20s? I'm so excited for our game Friday because we haven't played in a couple weeks, and I'm like, I'm dying. I hate when you don't get to play for a couple weeks. It's the worst. Just life cleric things. Nice. Ugh, gotta love a life cleric. I was just talking about how much I like clerics the other day. Actually, this character I'm drawing, I think, is a cleric. I'm not 100% sure. She's an NPC, and our DM introduced us to her, but we don't know a whole lot about her yet. But we got a description, and so I was like, I'm gonna draw one of our NPCs for fun today. But she is a priestess of the Lightsmith. So I think she might be, she's either a life cleric or a light cleric, probably. She's probably a cleric though. You kept all the knuckleheads alive? That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Ooh, let's see, what else? Yeah, we'll have to think on the logo, but I'm thinking if I combine either 2 or 3 of those things. I like the idea of maybe using the anvil more than the hammer, because I feel like the hammer is maybe like the really expected route. So I'm thinking like maybe it could be like, let's just try this. Let's just try this now that I have an idea. If we took like this and we took like this and just like put them together and then made some sort of like sigil-y shape out of it, could be really cool. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. That's awesome. We're so happy to have you here. We stream every Friday if you want to check out our game on this channel right here. Every Monday is our Tome of Knowledge show, which is where we talk about, I say we, I'm not usually there. Some of the players talk about whatever, D&D. This week they were talking about, and I think you can watch the VOD, I'm not sure if it's up yet, but it will be soon. They talked about like what classes to play as a new player, classes that they would recommend if they were DMing that a new player could play. They discuss knowledge. Yeah, they try. And then on Tuesdays we do art. Usually we draw character art. Sometimes we'll just do random D&D characters that have nothing to do with the campaign. It just whatever I feel like drawing, but it's almost always D&D themed because that's what I like to do is character art. And then Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, we have our campaign, and we just started a new campaign actually. So if you're new to the channel and you're looking for another show to watch, we actually just started this new campaign, so there's not a whole lot to catch up on, and we always do a little recap at the beginning. So it's a good time to jump in for sure. Oh, that's awesome. I was gonna say I would have to check out your stream, but if it's Mondays, that's when we do our Tome of Knowledge. But thank you so much for coming and hanging out. I appreciate it. We're just trying to be D&D content all day, every day over here because there's no such thing as too much D&D, right? Okay, I think let's go back to her. I'm gonna think on the icon for a little bit. So let's do a second layer. Oh my gosh, 3 games a week? That is intense. That's a lot. It's for, you just gotta hang in there. It'll be easier to play soon. You should, when you get to college was when I actually first played D&D, It's a lot easier to get people to commit to games. Everybody's stuck on campus and not everybody likes to go and drink and party on Friday night. So you can usually get a good group going, and people like excuses to not go to class too. So, you know, there's that. D&D, it's dynamite. Wait, what's average? Oh, three a week? No, it's not, Zeus. You're just crazy. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Oh, that's awesome. And then you play in 2 more games on Sunday and Wednesday. Holy cow. I am in our streamed game on Fridays. And then I play in a once a month-ish game, but we're using the other system for Star Wars. We're playing a Star Wars game. And then I'm debating, I was in another game that ended, and I'm debating joining another game that some friends I know are playing in on Thursdays, but I haven't pulled the cord yet because I like not having stuff to do after work, to be honest, but I miss playing. So I'm debating. Plus I have a couple character ideas that I'm just like dying to try out. Didn't show up because you need it to slay some goblins in a nerd game. 9 games a week? Oh no. I would have an anxiety attack if I attempted that. I could not do that. I do love D&D, but I don't know that I love it as much as you, clearly. 9 is, I feel like if I was doing it for a job or something, like if I was getting paid to do it, maybe I could do it. But I'm just thinking the amount of time you have to be like on, you know? Do you have long sessions, or do you all typically play shorter sessions? Because we tend to do 4-hour sessions with my groups. That could change. If you do like a 2-hour session, then that maybe makes sense. Oh, I get that too. We've all been there at one point in our lives. We're like, well, you know what? I don't have much going on for me right now, so I'm just gonna play. Well, for me, it's video games. 3 to 4 hours with each group. Oh, that's a lot. You are brave or crazy or both or something. I love it. I love it. What was I watching with somebody with lots? Oh god, we've been watching the Fast and Furious movies because I hadn't seen them, so Max was like, we gotta watch them. And just like every time we watch those, I'm just like transfixed by The Rock and Vin Diesel's muscles. I'm just like, what? How is this humanly possible? Aw, that's awesome, Our Lady's Tears. I think that's really great. Hey, as long as you're having fun and not neglecting other parts of your life, I say the more D&D, the better. Hi, Tori. I know your name is Sweet Totoro Tori, but I almost just said Sweet Tori. We're drawing some buff ladies, Tori. Welcome, welcome. How are you today? She's gonna be mostly covered from the waist down, I think. So not gonna stress too much about getting the muscles like just right. We're just trying to get enough to like have a good base here. Bring this foot in. A little. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a wonderful evening. Good night. And thanks again for hopping in, and thank you for the raid. Oh, you're playing Zelda? I thought you beat Zelda. Oh, you beat the first one. That's what it was. I totally forgot. I have not been playing it. It was funny because it coincided with one of the dates I needed to take off from work for surgery. And so everyone was like, when I got back, was like, oh, how was the Zelda game? Like, assuming I just took off work to play Zelda. And I'm like, but I didn't. I'm like, I didn't do that thing. It wasn't what I did. It was pretty funny though. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Do I recommend taking off work to play a video game? Not necessarily, but it's a little different for me than it is for most people since I work in the video game industry. It's actually a pretty common occurrence for people to take off work to play video games. But technically it's allowed anywhere as long as you request the time off. Just to think of it as like taking a vacation. You have to schedule it in advance. You have to follow the proper procedures with your workplace. The main difference is that if you work at a video game company, people are less likely to judge you if you take off work to play a video game. I think when I worked in other careers, people would be a little more like, really? That's what you're taking off work for? Yeah, I have several coworkers that are taking off work a good chunk of next week so they can just play Diablo 4. I doubt I would take off work to play any games personally. I'm trying to think if there's a game that came out. Okay, I take that back. I would take off work if the new Concerned Ape game comes out on a weekday and not a weekend. The Haunted Chocolatier. I will probably consider, if I have extra days, taking a day off to play that, or a half day, because I think sitting through work knowing that I could be playing it will kill me. Concerned Ape, he's the creator that made Stardew Valley, and he's working on a new game called The Haunted Chocolatier, and I just love Stardew Valley so much, so I'm dying to play his next game. And I have a feeling there will be lots of spoilers on the internet, so I want to play it. I want to play it as soon as it comes out. I don't want to wait. Other than that, I'm not really one to take off work to play a game. Maybe... No. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything else that would tempt me besides that. My favorite games of all time, I really like Portal, but if they made another one of those, I wouldn't take off. I liked Horizon Zero Dawn, but I still haven't played the sequel. I like Zelda games, but I still haven't played Breath of the Wild. And then I already get to play World of Warcraft when a new expansion comes out, so I don't have to take off work for that. I just get to play for free at work. So that doesn't really count. Yeah, I am a I'm a UX designer. I do UI and UX in video games. And I love it, but it is a stressful job sometimes. But I grew up kind of in the industry because my dad is a programmer. He's always worked in games my whole life, so I ended up going into games as well. Why is it stressful? I don't want to talk about that on the internet. Let's just say the video game industry sounds really fun when you're outside, but it is a lot of work. It's not just playing games all day. We'll just leave it there. Yeah, sorry. UX is user experience and UI is user interface. So all of the menus that you see in a video game, which if you think about like an MMO, that includes things like your character sheet, or like if you have a page that shows all your spell choices or talent trees, crafting, all those things fall under the user interface. And so I work on a team and we make all of those elements, and my job is to make them like super user friendly and fun to use. So that you enjoy the experience. So the UX side of it is making sure that the UI is like essentially working for the player, right? It's one thing to have a really pretty menu with pretty buttons, but if it's hard to navigate or hard to use, then it doesn't matter how pretty it is, it sucks to use. So, and yeah, I love it and I nerd out about it. So I'm always happy to talk about UI and UX if anyone ever wants to talk about it. It is my jam, as they say. And I started out doing more of like the UI side of it, just making like simple frames and things. But then I started really like getting into the problem solving side of the user experience. And so that's mostly what I do now. But every now and then I'll do some of the art too. Some companies have one person that does both. I'm at a bigger company, so we have multiple people that do individual parts. It's also a good career to get into if you want to do like apps. Like if you don't want to do games, but it sounds interesting, it actually pays a lot better to do the same thing, but to do it for like mobile apps or tech. Anything in tech needs UI UX. Max does the engineering side. He does like the coding for the user interface for like a big insurance company, right? So it's like, it just depends. I've done some app design work, but I prefer games. I think it's more fun. I don't have a lot of fun working on things for like Apple or Google, even though they pay the best. Okay, I'm gonna draw the hammer on a separate layer because otherwise if I don't, it will always end up looking kind of, how do you say? Like not, straight. Phallic? That was not what I was gonna say, but sure, let's go with that. Nate is the same way. He knows he can make a lot more, but he knows he enjoys what he does better. Yeah, unfortunately, the industry sort of uses that against its workers. The games industry knows that it's more fun to work on games, so they call it like I want to say like the fun tax or the passion tax. Basically, they know they can get away with paying people less, and it sucks. But I do love what I do, so. It's pretty good. I used my mirror tool, the symmetry tool. Really, really helpful tool if you haven't used that in Photoshop. Definitely worth checking out. Okay. I'm gonna mask off the parts of this that would be behind her. And fantastic. I'm feeling really good about that. Cool. Mechs are really hard. Symmetry tool would be a really good thing to use for that because you need to have a lot of symmetry and you need to have a lot of hard lines and straight lines, and it can really help. I'm very bad at drawing anything really structured with a lot of symmetry and a lot of hard lines to it. Like cars, I find to be really difficult. but I find old cars a little bit easier. But anything like really structured and symmetrical that has to look just so, it's just really hard for me. Drawing things like buildings and stuff is a lot of work, and so I don't find it very fun. I've done it though. I've done a lot of it actually, considering. Yeah, I don't know. It just depends. Luckily, Photoshop has a lot of tools that can make drawing those sort of things really easy. But yeah, my favorite mechs are actually Evangelion, and they're not very, they are symmetrical, but they're not very, and they are angular, but they're very fluid at the same time. So if I were going to draw a mech, I'd probably draw one like that. I still want to play in a mech game at one point. But I think what I have in my head of what I want out of a mech game is not the same as what other people would have. Yeah, there's like a little bit of an organic vibe to the Evangelion mechs. Like, I find guns are really hard to draw. The guns are a really good example. They're very difficult to draw, in my opinion. I want to play a game where everybody has a unique mech and the mechs aren't really the important part of the game. Like, maybe they're just there for combat and the system doesn't feel very mathy. It feels more like D&D, like more simple. That's what I would like. Yeah, they are organic in the anime. Underneath the armor, they actually have an organic structure. You're totally correct. Okay, I need to take a quick break to use the restroom and get some water. So I'm going to put up a little BRB message and I will BRB, apologize, but I'll be back as soon as I can. Just zoom in on that. How's that? Okay, I'll be right back. right, thanks everyone for being patient. I am back. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I keep having so many issues with these headphones. Somehow messed up her foot again. See if I can fix it. Oops. It's a little bit better. Thanks. Oh, let's see. Is the music not playing? What happened to the music? It says it's on, but I can hardly hear it. I don't know why. Do you all hear the music at all? Not at all? I don't know. Wowee! Oh my gosh, hello! Hello, Raiders, welcome! We were just trying to figure out why our music isn't working very well. And then I look up. How is everyone doing? Oh my gosh. We are trying to fix the music. Yeah, that did help. But it turned my system sounds back on, which is not what we want, I believe. I think it's just a quiet song. I don't know. Hopefully you guys can hear it. This anvil is on fire. Hello, everyone. Welcome. If you are new here, welcome to Casters and Cantrips. We play D&D on Fridays, but Tuesday is an art stream. So Tuesday I usually draw D&D characters. So that's what we're doing right now. You're watching me bring a character to life. One of my favorite things to do. And oh my gosh, there's so many people. Hello, welcome. I'm gonna try and say hi to a couple of you. If I miss you, I'm so sorry. Winter's Tale, hello. Catchy Cantrips, love the name. Thank you for the raid. Drone Kit King, welcome. Thy Fair Lady, welcome. Lylabot, welcome. Alfalfa the Game Master, welcome. Tice the Betrayer, welcome. Ravenhair, welcome. Kaimunan, welcome. Sorry if I'm saying all of these wrong. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you all doing? Were you guys just streaming some D&D? How did it go? What if the characters were cute and maybe held hands? I would love to draw that. We need to do some cute characters next. We're drawing some NPC characters today, actually. This is a priestess of the Lightsmith who we met last session, I believe, and I needed something to draw today and I just felt really inspired to draw her, so we're bringing her to life. I was just really in love with her because she's this buff, muscular, badass lady that works at a forge, but she's also like a priestess. I was just like, she's so cool. So that's what we're doing. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Raven here. But yeah, if you're new here, we do our game on Friday, and then we do a episode called Tome of Knowledge on Mondays, which is where a bunch of us get together and talk about D&D rules, news, whatever, opinions. And then Tuesdays are our art stream, where I usually work on either art for the campaign or just drawing random D&D characters that I feel like drawing. And we're on YouTube as well, and we've got VODs of all this stuff, and we just started a new campaign. So if you're looking for a new game to watch, it's actually a really good time to hop in, because we're only, I think, 3 episodes in, so we haven't done too much. I almost died once already. You know, there's that. Yeah. I know the description is good, right, Chinner? He said it on stream, and I had to start fanning myself. I was like, who is this girl? She looks like a big, strong mommy that could carry me. I think she is. The two NPCs we've met so far that stand out are both like badass ladies that you don't want to piss off types, and I am here for it. All right, let's get back to drawing her. I want her to have like a lot of hair, but because she's constantly working like in the forge, it has to be like tied up. I think that'd be really cool. Now I need to worry about facial features. This is the part that I've been not as sure about because I don't have any ideas. Get her face bigger. Mm-hmm. I feel like something if I'm trying to figure it out. No worries. I know exactly how it goes when you're done streaming. So did you all just play a game? How did it go? Ooh, D&D animation. I've done some crappy animations for our D&D game. It's a lot of work to do animation. Oh, one-shots are so much work. One-shots are fun, and I think they're really great for the audience, but we have learned they're a lot of work. A bunch of potatoes attacked the party? Did you eat them? That's how I would solve that problem. I would just be like, all right, time to make some potato pancakes. Gonna turn the opacity down on this one even more, and we're gonna turn the opacity down on this one too, so that I can work on facial features a little bit more cleanly. Bye, it's 4. Have a wonderful night. Thanks so much for hanging out. Hato Fey creatures. Amazing. Amazing. We haven't fought anything that weird yet, I don't think. It's the weirdest thing we've fought so far that Max has thrown at us. This is a character we met last session, and she is a priestess of the forge. So she's a fire genasi, and she's all about fire and creativity and construction and building and the power that comes from fire and light. And she's really cool, and she's like very muscular and badass. So we're trying to do her justice with this art. A Wendigo? I'm trying to remember. I know a little bit about them, but not through D&D, so I don't actually know what they're like in D&D. Justice, sweet, sweet justice. Hi, Iraq. How are you doing? I'm not feeling the facial features. I'm trying to figure out like how I can make this fit the vibe that I was like going for. I think I need her eyes to be a little more like mysterious. Let's try again. Get a smaller brush here. I'll make it a little easier. And tilt them in a little bit more, almost like a cat's eye kind of shape. Give it a little bit more of that kind of mysterious and wild feline vibe. You're in need of food? No worries. Go get some food. That's how I am after every stream. I'm like, I have to get food and I have to go lay down somewhere cool for a few minutes every time. Most of your stuff comes from Pathfinder. Oh, okay. They stalk you and give you nightmares. And once you hit 0 wisdom, you go and kill and consume someone. Oh gosh. Then you run until your legs shred into pieces as you fly into the sky and a new Wendigo is born. I don't like them. They sound terrifying. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Catchy Cantrips. Thank you. Get you some good snacks. They sound terrifying, which also means they sound awesome. So it is what it is. I really like horror creepy stuff, but I can't get into it because I get scared so easily. So I'm like, I'm just too easily scared. I think she looks good, but I made her nose a little too big. I'm just gonna fix that real quick. This eye is off a little bit. Just needs to be a little more. Basically, I'm squinting at it right now. You can't see me, but that's what I'm doing. Is I'm kind of squinting and like looking to see if it works. And then we're going to do a flip here in a minute. Just drawing out the planes of her face a little bit to make sure that this is the right face shape that I wanted. Even if they resurrect you, the Wendigo will still live, so you technically could be stalked by yourself. Whoa, that's really cool. That's kind of metal. Wait, is that what Shadow Babies were, Zeus, in that one game? Oh my gosh. Or are you just saying those were creepy? and that I was scared about them and they gave me nightmares, because that is definitely true. That is definitely a thing that happened. They were just creepy. Okay. Woo. Oh, I did not like them. Did not like them. But I do like playing in games with stuff that is creepy like that, because it makes the stakes feel worse / better. Like, the stakes feel better when a game's creepy. I don't know what it is, because we all know D&D, we know the rules, we know how to win a combat, but if it's a creepy combat, it just takes it to another level. The wind walk. Okay, and if they fail to resist the spell, it hurtles into the sky with them. Whoa. Creepy. So cool. Yeah, I like that. I think that's really cool. Like, combat needs to feel risky sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes for sure. So I like that. All right. Feeling really good about her facial features now. Just gonna soften these for the rest of the drawing so I'm not like annoyed by it. Get her facial structure down. And then we can do a little bit more, and then I'm gonna work on designing what her outfit should look like. And that might be it for tonight, because I can't do a long stream tonight. I'm still kind of in recovery mode from the appendicitis. So we're just gonna take it easy. And then I'll be back next week. So yeah, things that are more than death as a threat. That's totally smart, I think. Yeah, because you can always just roll a new character. Like, I don't think people want their characters to die. I'm not saying that. I just mean that, like, you know it's not the end of the world and you know it can happen. So you're just, like, kind of already sometimes emotionally prepared for it. But if it's something way more terrifying than your character just dying, then it's like their stakes are so much higher and you're so much more just, like, invested. I am loving how buff she looks. Later, because mostly I'm just trying to get the basics of it drawn. Oh, that's okay, Captain. Yeah, Captain York. I just had appendicitis. I had an emergency appendectomy. I could not, okay. Life pro tip, y'all. If you can't stand or walk or even lay down because you're in pain and it's not going away, and it doesn't seem to be moving around a whole lot, it's just sort of front and center, maybe fading down to the right where your appendix is, just go to the ER and let them check, because you know what? That's not something you want to be wrong about and find out the hard way. I was not in like a 10 out of 10 pain. I was more in like a 6 to 7 pain, but it was not going away. We're talking like hours and hours and hours, just was not going away, and nothing was making it better. No medicines were helping. Lying in any position wasn't helping. Nothing was helping. So Max said, Bun Bun, get your things. We're going to the ER. And I said, no, I'll be fine. And he just looked at me and said, get your things. And thank goodness for him, because if I had not gone, it would have taken even longer to get treated, and we got the surgery in time and there were no issues. It had not burst or anything like that. It was just thinking about getting bad, but it was totally fine. And the surgery is really simple, really easy. I'm already almost back to 100%. It's more of I just have to take it easy for like another week or so. I can't lift anything heavy, so I can't pick up the pups, that sort of thing. But otherwise, I'm pretty much back to normal. So not a big deal. The only downside was I had the thought when they told me I needed the surgery. One of my first thoughts was, I guess I don't mind having a week off work to just relax and I'll be able to play some video games. Maybe I'll catch up on WoW or Final Fantasy, or I'll finally play Breath of the Wild before the new one comes out. And then I ended up being so tired and exhausted, I didn't play any video games for the whole week. That was the biggest bummer of the whole thing. So luckily I had Max to take care of me and he did a really good job. So I wasn't in too bad a shape. I mostly just laid on the couch and watched movies and TV. And lots of YouTube. But yeah, I am totally fine. But yeah, if you're ever in doubt, please, please, please just go to the ER and get checked out. I know medical bills suck, but you know what sucks more? Having your appendix burst. Also, I said if it radiates down to the right, that's when you should be concerned. But actually, I found out, I did not know this, but there is a small percentage of the population that has their appendix on the left side. Found out after the fact that my great-grandmother was one of those people, and she just happened to have her appendix on the left side. And if you don't have a doctor that knows that can be a thing, since it's pretty rare, they may not realize it's appendicitis right away, which is interesting. So, yeah. You're playing in a campaign. Hello, Jigsaw. Welcome. Playing in a campaign with not multi-classing. Okay, campaign will go to level 20. Ooh, that's intense. Level 20 is a long campaign. You already have a paladin, a barbarian, and a bard. What would be a good class to complement the party? Also, sorry about your appendix. Oh, thank you, Jigsaw. It's tricky because I don't think there's any wrong answer to this. I will say I'm not a fan of multi-classing. I think it's just, you're just making life harder for yourself for very little payoff. I think if you're a really experienced D&D player and you have like all the rules memorized and you're just looking to try something new, it can be fun. But I really don't like multi-classing. So I actually think that part sounds good. I wouldn't worry about doubling up or having like a gap. If there's something you want to play, just play it. If you're just like, I don't really have any ideas, so I'm just looking for an idea. The only thing I could think that would be cool with that group is potentially another type of full caster, because I feel like barbarians usually have the sort of non-caster melee kind of thing down, and paladins and bards both also can have like a really good they're both going to fight with weapons. They're going to be in there in the thick of it, so some sort of like caster could be really cool. I think maybe like a druid, or I'm always going to say warlock. I love warlocks. Druid or warlock could be really cool. With a paladin, you're not hurting for heals. Same with a bard. They both can do some supporty type things. So I don't know that you need like a cleric or anything, but you could also play a cleric and just not go down the healing route. You could do something a little bit more unique. And then if you don't like the idea of a caster, or a full caster, you could look into something a little more interesting, like as an artificer, like a half caster. That could be cool. Yeah, I think light cleric is like the main healing class. I would look into maybe like what's the cleric? It's like a trickster cleric. Not trickster. Skill plus arcane or skill plus divine. Yeah, trickery domain cleric would be really cool. I really like them. There's a couple of really cool domains that don't get played a lot, actually. There's like a nature domain, but I'm not very familiar with it. I still think a druid could be really good. And I think a warlock, but I think a warlock exactly fits what Zeus is saying too, because you could have like some really cool arcane magic based abilities, but then you could also get some really good skills going. And based on if you want utility or damage, you can build your warlock in different ways to fit either of those needs. So that would be my vote. But I also just love warlocks. I'm super biased. They're my favorite class. I played a couple different types of clerics, but they're pretty fun. There's also like a storm cleric, which is interesting. Is that what it's called? Storm? There's an Arcana domain for the cleric, which is cool. But really, you should do what sounds fun to you, Jigsaw. I don't think, yeah, Tempest, that's the one. I don't think you should, like, even if you wanted to play another bard, to me, it's totally okay to play like a class that someone else is playing. Just talk to them, make sure they're comfortable with it first, and then pick a different subclass and like a different vibe for your character. But I just think Warlock's really flexible. So yeah, like Zeus said, like you can just do a lot with them and you can fill in kind of the gaps if you see them in your party and you want to fill those in. They have a lot of utility, or they can, or a lot of damage. Your choice. Yeah, Hexblade is melee. I would say Pact of the Tome is definitely more going to give you more spell-based stuff, and then Pact of the what is it, the Chain, where you get a familiar, is also going to be more useful if you're casting a lot of spells. But really, I would just pick whichever one sounds fun. I don't think it matters. I think the biggest decision is who your patron is, because that's going to determine some of the spells that you get. And then read through the, what are they called? Invocations? Evocations? I always get this word wrong. Evocations? Read through those and see if anything stands out as being really fun. Because if you're going to be playing to level 20, you're going to get some really cool stuff unlocked on a Warlock at a certain point. Stuff that I've never gotten to unlock on a Warlock. Because they have some, yeah, Eldritch Invocations. They have some that you don't unlock until later levels that just are like really fun. And I want to roll a Warlock now. Dang it. I do have kind of a spoopy character planned that she like, I want to play a Hexborn? No, a Hex. Do it right now, live on stream. You want me to make a character on stream? I would if I was going to draw her after. Maybe I'll do that when I run out of things for the current campaign. Ooh, Gloomstalker's cool though. But yeah, if you don't think that you're going to be in those locations, I definitely wouldn't do that. That could be, you could be setting yourself up for a less than ideal time. And if the DM isn't like on the same page as you, that, yeah, to me, if you're rolling a class that has those kind of things, you want to like be on the same page with the DM and communicate with them about it to make sure it's actually going to come up. What is it? Hexblood? I think it's Hexblood. No, that's not right. Hexborn? Yeah, that's honestly my feeling about, that's just my feeling about rangers at all, is I love the idea of a ranger, but they just feel like they don't fit into most games. Yeah, exactly, Zeus. And you and I have talked about this before. You know how I feel about it. It's just... Yeah, I want to build a Hexblood. Think. Yeah, I have an idea for a character where she was given the power from a coven of hags, and she was supposed to fill in the gap of the hag circle. She chose not to, which comes with its own price. But she's grown up knowing that if she wanted to, she could essentially turn into a hag someday. But I just have all these cool, creepy vibes for her. I just haven't quite figured out the personality. But I think instead of a Warlock, which I think would make sense if she had gone down the hag trait, I think I'm gonna do a College of Spirits bard. I also just love bards. I just haven't decided, because if I want to save her for like if my character on our Friday show dies, then I could use this character as my backup character, or I could play her in this other game I'm in and play her now, and I can't decide. I'm also secretly hoping that our third campaign for Casters and Cantrips has more and creepy vibes, so I can play a creepy character because I like creepy characters. Basic introductory game for new players. Okay. I do think Warlock sounds good. I would just see what feels the most fun to you though when it comes to Warlock and go with that, because like you don't have to do anything stereotypical, just find something that sounds fun. I did this was homebrew, so you won't be able to do it, but I did a Raven Queen Warlock, which was really fun. I've done a Fiend Warlock. I've done what was that? The Depths, one of the Circles of Hell kind of things Warlock. I've done a Warlock whose patron, this was in a Strahd game, Curse of Strahd, and her patron was Strahd. Sort of a Voldemort Harry Potter, does the hero create the monster create the hero kind of vibe, but she was a lot of fun to play too. So there's a lot of really cool options, and you can always go Great Old One. I think Great Old One is, oh yeah, I did play a Granny Lock, and her patron was a great Old One. If you want to get that kind of like cosmic terror vibe going, a Great Old One is very cool and fun, and you can do whatever you want with it because there's just so much room there. But yeah, I would mostly just do what's gonna sound fun for you. I wouldn't overthink what the party needs too much. I would just go, oh, conceptually that sounds cool, and just totally do it. They don't have to be a not so nice demon. They could be a nice demon. It could be one of those things where it's not always black or white. It's a gray area, right? They could be self-serving, but their goal could align with something that's good. So maybe they're a demon who wants to destroy a more powerful demon because they are tired of being under the control of that demon. And so their ultimate goal is to fight things that work for a bigger evil cause. Like there's totally all sorts of cool ways you could do it. Also, I think you can have a celestial as your patron if you want. Like, let me pull up the Warlock. Sorry, I just love talking about Warlocks. I hope everyone's chill with that because I just love them so much. We're doing a little impromptu tome chatter today, I guess. Let me pull up the... It's also like one of those things where the greater good... Yeah, there's plenty of times where like good can be aligned with a greater being whose concept of good has nothing to do with a mortal person's concept of good, but they could totally align. A Warlock stream is pretty standard. And you could also be one of those things where maybe you don't agree with what your patron's all about, but you're using them as much as they're using you, and it's an agreement that you're both comfortable with. You know, you're like, I'm not going to murder anyone innocent for you, but I will do this for you. You know, like there's totally plenty of ways you can make it work for you. Pact of the Mighty Thu? What? Let's see. Otherworldly, Archfey is a good one. Fae are rarely ever good or evil. Fae are, oh, the thighs. Yeah, sorry, I'm stuck on drawing her thighs. Fae are one of those type of things that you can really get creative with what their goals are and what they want. And they can be really fickle too. So maybe one day their cause is something really good and the next day it's something really bad and you're constantly bickering with them about it. There's a lot of fun things you could do there. And there's also plenty of patrons that never really communicate with their Warlock. Like you could be a Warlock where it's like, well, you know, they said they'd come back to me when it's important, but I haven't heard from them in a while. That's okay too. I think you can lean into it as much or as little as you want to. But there is a celestial patron. Your patron is a powerful being of the upper planes. You have bound yourself to an ancient Empyrean, solar, Kirin, unicorn, or other entity that resides in the planes of everlasting bliss. Your pact with that being allows you to experience the barest touch of the holy light that illuminates the multiverse. And you could even flip it. You could be a character who's maybe you're not like a lawful good aligned, maybe you're a little more chaotic neutral, but you get your power from somebody really good, so you're sort of forced to act good. You're like, man, we could just take the money and leave. Man, okay, I guess we got to do the right thing. Like, there's plenty of fun things you could do with it. I shall move mountains to enjoy the taste of bread, or I shall do the minimal effort to influence a critical historical wedding. Yeah, I love Archfey. They're a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. Fathomless, a pact with the deeps, an entity of the ocean. And that's kind of cool. Like, what if an entity of the ocean's maybe not like a good entity, but really all they care about is like getting humans to stop polluting the oceans or something? Doesn't have to be anything like over the top. I need to play one of those. Those seem fun. And then there's Fiend. Fiends are like more classic. If I were doing Fiend, I'd have to really think about like, why am I working for this demon? Are they demons? No, they're fiends. That's different, right? Genie. Genie is interesting. I'd have to think on that, but that's cool. I could do a genie pact. Great old one. I said that one. That one's really fun. And then if you do the Hexblade, you can do a pact with someone from Shadowfell. Shadowfell's not necessarily bad. They're just like... their life is different. There's an undead. That's what I did undead for Strahd. What was that? Undying? I don't remember. Yeah, there's lots of options. Oh, is GD not Player's Handbook? Sorry, I'm just looking on the website. It doesn't call out which book they're from. It's okay though. I think you've got plenty of options. So, and you can get creative with them and make up whatever you want. Just make sure it's okay with the like I said, maybe it's a demon that doesn't want to be a demon. Maybe it's had a change of heart, but it's stuck in hell and it's trying to work its way out by like giving power to mortals to do good on its behalf. I don't know. You can get weird with it. I say D&D is all about creativity and having fun. Zeus, now I want to make that character. If you want to talk D&D warlocks after this. Actually, I gotta see what Max is up to. I'm not sure if he's waiting on me to watch a movie tonight. Okay, I just wanted to get the next little part done and then I might take a break because I don't want to go too long tonight, but I wanted to get sort of a wanted to get kind of the vibe of her outfit down. So let's work on that. So I'm thinking, let's do it in a different color, just so it'll be easier to see what we're working with. Maybe a little darker. Oops. I don't want to give her kind of like a big like apron vibe, because if she's a smith, having a big apron to protect her legs and big boots would be good, but then we definitely want to show off the guns. So I'm thinking like sleeveless shirt. So I'm thinking kind of like belt, big belt kind of vibes, so that she could have like some extra tools hanging off of it. And then I was thinking sort of like an apron vibe, but then I was thinking since she's like a priest, we could do that kind of like it's like two pieces. It's like a skirt in the back and in the front, but it's like all made out of leather. And then I was thinking like she could have the sigil on her, the front of her apron. And then this could be like some braided like leather or something. Or maybe actually it'd be better if Hold on. Just thinking. If we do like some details that are like braided leather, so the front's a little bit more flat. This would be the sigil. And then we could do like, she has like some straps, some extra straps or something. And I was thinking of giving her kind of like a simple like tunic style top that someone else might wear over like an undershirt, but she's just like, nah man, I'm working in the forge and it's fucking hot. And we can give her like some gloves maybe. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that. I'm not sure. Maybe I want her sigil to be here instead of on the skirt though. And then I was thinking maybe this should be a little more like a priest's vestments with like some wrapped fabrics. No, I don't think I like that. I want to keep it a little bit simple. She's like a no nonsense, non-frilly kind of person. Something like that. I kind of want to pull the belt up so it's resting more near her waist and not on her hips. I can't decide. Although I love the idea of having just like this big, bulky bottom half that will make her look really like stationary. Nicole, fantastic. I think Jigsaw, as far as like combat, the only downside with warlocks for combat is you're only going to have 2 spell slots for like a really long time. You're going to be limited by spell slots. So that's just something to consider. I would just make sure that that's something that you're aware of. That's all. And make sure, you know, that you pick spells accordingly, but you get your spells back on a short rest, so you do get them back quickly. If she's a fire genasi, she wouldn't need protection against the sparks heat of her work. Well, she's a fire genasi. Are fire genasi completely immune to fire damage or just resistant? How does that work? And yeah, I'd imagine her clothes could still burn up, so she'd still need clothes that was fire resistant. So some thick like leathers that have been properly treated would still be a good idea. But she could have less clothes on, which I'm always for, right? Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Jigsaw. Also, if you have more character questions, make sure to come by on Mondays when we do Tome of Knowledge, because we have Max, who's our DM, we have Moobs, who also has DM'd a lot, and VS, who reads a lot of the rules and pays a lot of attention to the news. So we've got three players that are much more rules knowledgeable than I am. But also Zeus is here, and Zeus knows more about the rules than pretty much anybody I know. So you're in good hands regardless. Yeah, always talk to the DM. Always the best course of action. We could definitely give her shirt like some sort of like singe marks and like burned elements. That'd be pretty cool. I definitely want to give her like some really good like boots. I was thinking about giving him kind of like steel toes or something cool, so if she drops something it wouldn't matter. But then I was thinking maybe she doesn't need maybe she doesn't need pants because it's gonna be really hot near the forge. Although she's also probably doesn't worry about being hot too much because she's a fire genasi. Yeah, DMs do usually want to chat. They like players that are invested in their characters. It lets them know that it's important to you as well, and that you're putting the extra work in and you're thinking about these things, because they're going to be thinking about it a lot. So it means a lot to them to know that you're thinking about it. Yeah, definitely talk to them. And if they don't want to talk about it, then yeah, I mean, it happens sometimes. I don't know what to tell you. But I would definitely try. That would be my first first thought is to talk to the DM and see how they feel about it. All right, I'm feeling a little creatively drained at this point. I've got all my thoughts on paper. Think what I want to do. I'm feeling really good about her, but I think what we'll do is we'll finish her next week. Give me a little more time to sleep on it and think about what I want her outfit to look like, and maybe do a little research, find some more reference photos, and kind of look for things that I like, don't like. But I'm feeling really good about her, and I'm feeling really good about the icon. I'll just need to do some more icon work, but I don't really want to do it right now. So we might go and call it a little early. We've been going for about 2 hours. That's not too bad. I'm just getting back into the swing of things, so I'm not going to be too hard on myself. But I will be back next week, next Tuesday. We'll work on her some more. Almost 3. No, I start at 7, Zeus. I never start at 6 because I have to, I have work. It's hard enough on Fridays for me. I'm always stressed on Fridays to get done with work and get to the stream. So I start at 7 on Tuesdays, and I'll be here next Tuesday. And we'll be streaming the game Friday. So if you want to watch us get up to some shenanigans, come hang out Friday. Friday is at 6. So I know it's a little confusing. If I could get to work earlier, I could start doing 6 on Tuesdays, but for now it's 7. But we'll be back Friday, and I don't know what we're doing. I forgot what we're doing in the game. Probably something stupid. We'll find out. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to raid our fellow player. Moves Like Jagger is streaming over on GGN Crew. He plays the Warlock in our ongoing campaign right now, actually. But let's go give him a little bit of love. So if you're able to stick around for the raid, I'll pop that up here in just a second. And I just want to say thank you everyone for hanging out and keeping me company and chatting about art and D&D, and especially thank you for chatting about Warlocks. And I'll see you all next time. Bye everyone.